Today on Hands On Photography, I got some feedback from y'all, and I'm actually going to talk about saving photographs. No, not saving them to the computer. It's the other way, rescues. All right, just stay tuned. This is going to be fun.
This is TWiT. No ads, just the content. That's what you get when you join Club TWiT. You even get extras like TWiT Plus, our new bonus feed just for members, and exclusive access to the Club TWiT Discord community. Join now for just $7 a month and support TWiT as we continue to create top-notch podcasts you expect and deserve. We're just getting started, so be one of the first to join as we build Club TWiT from the ground up. You could be an early member. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit to learn more and sign up now. Thanks.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Pruitt, and this is Hands On Photography here on TWiT TV. I hope y'all are doing well. Folks, I'm unbelievable as always. I'm really looking forward to sitting down with you folks each and every Thursday. And today we're going to get into saving photographs. No, I don't mean saving photographs to your hard drive or anything like that. I'm speaking more along the lines of actually rescuing a photograph, saving a photograph from just a big old mess that you created, accidentally, that is, but it happens. But anyway, before we get into that, let me say welcome to the folks that are catching the show for the very first time. Welcome to you, and thank you for checking this out. Do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe in whatever podcast application you're enjoying this on, whether it's our YouTube channel. You can subscribe there and hit the like button and all that good stuff. You can also check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Quite frankly, just go to the website, twit.tv/hop. That's twit.tv/HOP for Hands On Photography. And you'll see all of our subscription options over there, as well as our previous show episodes and show notes. So go ahead and check us out there on the website. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this week's episode. Okay, I always ask you folks to send in some feedback, comments, and questions via our email, which is hop@twit.tv. And I got a bit of feedback from Mr. David Benedict. Had a back and forth with them about said email. But yeah, let me give you the gist of that. He gave me his consent to use this email on the show. So let's go ahead and get right into that feedback. All right. It says, "Hey, Ant, Hop crew. So I know you guys have asked viewers to send in a photo for what would Ant do, in quotes. But usually people seem to send in photos that are already pretty good to begin with. Yeah, you're right. Our community is pretty daggum talented. So what if you ask users to send in photos that they believe are, air quotes, unusable photos, but they like the content for them? Sorry, I'm struggling to read this a little bit for lack of a better term, as he says. As an example, early in his photography hobby, and that is, he did a senior shoot for his daughter and some of her friends before they went off to school. And this feedback continues. But I was not as knowledgeable about photography as I am now. Yeah, I love that journey. So a couple of the girls he set up in bad lighting to begin with. And he later moved the girls into a spot that was all shadows rather than a spot that was mixed with sunlight and shadows. And then those photos ended up coming out a lot better. He would love to be able to, air quotes, fix up those photos that were in the bad setting and provide them to the parents. Now, granted, a show like this might take a little bit longer to show how an image can be, air quotes, saved or rescued, but this can help to encourage others to not be so dismissive of some of those other shots that they snapped. Anyways, thanks for reading and considering. Dave Benedict. I dadgummit love the sentiment of this message because, quite frankly, y'all, as long as you're shooting photography, you are going to make mistakes in your photos. It's just going to happen. You're going to be in the middle of a session and you're going to shoot something that ends up having something odd on your model or something in the background that's just distracting, and it's just going to happen. And sometimes these things can be fixed pretty easily in post, where there's just cropping it out or I don't know, doing a little bit of retouching. There was a time that I've been shooting some images of the family here, and one person in particular shot a photograph of her, and she had lipstick on, and she ended up having lipstick on her teeth. I didn't see it at the time of the shoot, but I did see it when I pulled it up here in post. So that was an easy fix. But, you know, had I seen that prior to shooting that, I would have said something. It's like, hey, yeah, you might want to handle that, you know. But again, sometimes you don't have that opportunity and you have to roll with it, or sometimes you just don't catch it at the time. You know, it is what it is. As long as you're in photography, you are going to have these moments pop up. And if they haven't happened to you just yet, don't you worry, your time is coming. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this image. He sent an image over, and quite frankly, the image isn't as bad as he made it out to be. I'm just going to say that openly, Mr. Benedict. It's not as bad as you made it out to be, but I do see your concerns with this. So let's go ahead and switch on over to my screen here and show you Lightroom. Okay, so here's the image, and when I look at it, yeah, it's underexposed, but you can fix that stuff here in post with a few sliders. And I've already done a lot of this stuff ahead of this recording. So yeah, through the magic of editing, we'll be able to show you some of the stuff that I've done. But yeah, this was underexposed, and I just went ahead and did some slider adjustments and got everything squared away to, air quotes, bring it back to life. And I think this looks fairly good, but there's still a couple glaring things that come out to me. First off, the cropping, and next is the distraction there in the background. If you zoom in, I don't know if you see it right out the gate, but if you zoom in, there's somebody standing back here right behind our model. And I don't know if that's a photography assistant or if it's just a parent, or doesn't matter. I don't need them in that shot if this was me snapping this photograph. And, you know, sometimes that happens, but this can be rescued. And what I ended up doing is pulling this image into Photoshop. So I just did a right click on it and I said to edit in Photoshop. So let's go ahead and open up Photoshop. Okay, so now we're inside of Photoshop, and what I like to do right out the gate is I'll do a little bit of sharpening. I have this Photoshop action for sharpening. It's called Ant Sharpening. I just made it up, and I just hit the button and it runs through and it'll do high pass filters and things like that to make this image a lot sharper for me, and I'm good to go. So I have a bunch of different layers over here on the right hand side, and it's a good starting point. So after I get all of that squared away, I like to take all of those layers that were created from my sharpening, and then I just merge the group, and it gives me one layer to work with. You know, that's my baseline. But I also like to go ahead and duplicate that a couple times, and it'll allow me to work on it non-destructively, and I tend to label it so I know which one is my baseline or my editing that I just started out as a base. And then I tend to name my new layer something else, something like Fix It or something like that, so I know what I'm working with. And that's the layer that I'm going to work on, that's going to allow me to do a bit of removal of the distractions that are in this image. And so what we're going to focus on is getting rid of this person standing back here. And the easiest way to do that is with patching and cloning inside of Photoshop. So we'll go on over to our patch tool, and this is located under the J key. And it's not the first one in that menu if you hit J on the keyboard, but it's right there. It's about 3 down or 2 down. You just hit patch tool, and it'll give you that icon. It'll allow you to just sort of make selections on the screen. And you can easily just draw a little circle around the person like that. And then you just click and drag to move them out of the image like so. And in some instances, doing a large group like that will work. I typically don't recommend using a large selection like that. I much rather go along the lines of something that's a bit smaller in the selection, because it gives you a little bit more control. And sometimes it ends up being a lot neater and a lot smoother on the selection and replacement here if you do it in smaller chunks like that. So I just went through it and just tried to use the background to fill in where this person is, so it looks a little bit more natural, if you will. And this can take a little bit of time, so don't fret. Just take your time on it and really try to dial it in. And after you've done all of the selection and patching, sometimes you need to go ahead and fine tune it with our clone stamp. So let me go ahead and get this squared away here and just clone stamp this image to where it looks good there. So we pushed it around. There we go. Sorry, I went too far. There we go. So now what I want to do now is just grab the clone stamp tool over here on the panel, and that's the S key. And it's right here on the keyboard. Hit S and you'll see clone stamp tool. And how this works is you use the Alt key or Option if you're on a Mac, and you sample a particular area. And when you release the Alt key, you now have a brush that is basically ready to brush in what you sampled. So if I just hit Alt over here, I can brush in more of the background just to get rid of our, person that was sort of standing there that we didn't see. And you can always undo if you go too far and just brush it in nice and easily like so. And when you get to a certain point where, like right now, we just have her legs standing there, just sort of looking at us. But if we look to the left of the frame, there's this patch of grass. I figure, okay, that grass is probably still behind her over here on the right-hand side of the frame. So why not just clone stamp some of the grass in? So I'll just take the sample of the grass and just brush it in nice and easily. And if you need to zoom in, you can zoom in and brush it in and continue to make sure you get a good sample selection and just make it look as natural as you can as you're brushing it in. Okay. Nothing to it. It just takes a little bit of time. All right. So once you've done all of that and you're thinking, okay, I'm good to go, then you really decide to fine tune it and just sort of clean up any mistakes that you have. And the best way to do this is to create a layer mask on that layer that you were just working with. So you just hit layer mask option here, and then you grab your brush tool or B on your keyboard. Make sure the color is set to black for the paint, and just paint in where you have a couple of different mistakes. Because when you paint in black on your layer mask, it's going to reveal the underlying layer. So it'll bring it back to life. Like right here, I got a little bit too much hair. So I just sort of brush it in and fix it up to where it brings back the hair. You can zoom in tight to make it work for you. And it's really nothing to it. All right, so now that I'm done with that, I just go ahead and I hit save inside of Photoshop. And when you hit save, it'll let you go right back to Lightroom with your updated image. So that's what we're going to do now. And I go back to Lightroom with my updated image, and I do a little bit more fine tuning just to make sure the skin tones and everything looks good. And then lastly, I take care of the cropping here. The cropping is key in my opinion, because it doesn't look like we cut her legs off. We want to make sure we crop up to a decent point. Typically right at the knees or right above the knees is usually pretty good, but she's sitting here. So we'll just come right below the knee, and it doesn't necessarily look like we cut her foot off. We just got it a little bit tighter, and it's a little bit more intimate there. So we'll just hit our button here to finish that crop, and we are now good to go. So this is the before image that he sent us, and this is the after with doing a little bit of cropping, exposure settings, and some clone stamping and some patchwork and vignetting, and it looks so much better now. All right. But that is it. It's something it's doable, but it can be a challenge depending on the situation. This one, I think I only spent about 45 minutes or so on this image, and I could have spent a lot more time on it because it still needs it. I just wanted to speed through it a good bit for you, because you can go in and do a little bit more detail work with the clone stamp and really smooth some things out. Just to make it look a little bit more natural. So when you're working on things like this, just go ahead and block off a fair amount of time. Block off an hour at least to allow yourself to go in and really get into the nitty gritty of this. But yeah, I think we're good to go now. So Mr. Benedict, thank you for sending that over, and thank you for allowing me to share this with our hands-on photography community to help others learn more about just doing some rescue work here, if you will. All right, so that's going to do it for us this week, folks. Thank you all so much for the tremendous support of the show. Thank you for continuing to send in feedback and questions and comments and image critiques, because I'm going to keep going through them. As long as you're sending them, you're going to keep hearing back from me. And as long as I have your written consent, I'm going to keep showing them here on the show. Send an email to hop@twit.tv, or feel free to give me a tag over on social media if you want to just chit chat about some stuff. I am ant_Pruitt on Twitter. I am also ant_Pruitt on Instagram. All right. Thank you again, folks, for everything you do for the Hands On Photography show. Appreciate all of that support. And thank you again to Mr. Victor for making me look and sound good. And I will catch you all next week here on the show. So until then, safely create and dominate. Y'all take care.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you are interested in checking out all things smart home and Internet of Things, then you should check out Smart Tech Today, the podcast I, Micah Sargent, do with my co-host Matthew Casanelli. It's all about the smart home and improving your automations.